Hey y'all, what happened? What going on? Y'all, I forgot I even was supposed to be going live. How about that? But y'all know what them church folks say. Be ye also ready. Then them streets say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So here I am, looking real hoodish. So you got OG Binky today. OG Binky in the building. I play too much. Anyway, hey y'all, welcome to Sipping in the Sip with Sabrina. I'm Sabrina. Um, why we acting like that? B2K drink champs interview didn't happen. Why ain't nobody talking about that? Hmm. Why y'all acting like Raz B didn't stand out? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would like to know why is we acting like it did not happen and Raz B did not stand up. Y'all acting funny. I ain't believe y'all act funny. Y'all pick up on everything. 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 Y'all truly had forget. I'm thinking I still got like an hour. Yeah. That alarm went off. I was like, wait. Wait. But anyway, we're going to get into this drink champ B2K little interview. Um, so we gonna really just be on the parts of Raz B pretty much. We ain't gonna we gonna add the other two in, but it's gonna be mostly back. Raz B, cause y'all acting like y'all didn't catch none of this. Okay. Cause I called it. Okay. 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 Now. Now this interview started great. Omarion is not in the building. Don't think we expected him to be. Um Raz B, he started very well. He on point, he on cue, he rolling up his little trees, he on the subject. Okay. Now it went into Drew is telling him about B2K. Drew was the first person in the group. He actually had been in the group since he was 8 years old. Boog joined the group at 12 years old. And that's why him and Boog is so close now. Okay. So from 8 to 12, it was just Drew. When Drew turned 12, then Boog came along. For whatever reason, he made it a point to say that Chris Stokes was his cousin. And that's who started the group, even though they were saying another lady. Or whatever, but he was the one who came in out the book. You know what I'm saying? And he became the actual fifth member of Melodic before it was B2K. Now Chris Stokes found Omarion. Okay. Now Raspy, he on the subject, y'all. He adding into the little conversations. Now, 10 minutes in this interview, Raz B is having a conversation with the people behind him in the studio. Okay. He not paying attention to the interview. And you got Boog and Drew. They pretty much carrying this entire interview. Raz B has on some very dark shades. He's smoking and all that good stuff. So he's smoking, and Nori like take a shot, and he shake his head, yeah. Raspy is shaking his head, yeah, to that shot. Now he ready. He ready for the shot. Okay. And it's drink champ, so I get you, yeah, you supposed to be in that, but you really ain't putting no input into this interview though. We're about 16 minutes in about this time. He raised up his bottle because they all had their own separate bottles and a shot. Uh, and this was at the time when I believe they got signed in 1999, and it was such. And I think Drew had just said it was like we ain't do nothing but celebrate all that. So Ras B is holding up his bottle and a shot, and what did he say? He was like, "Yeah, it was a celebration, 1999." Okay. Okay. You know, so they got their little deal, 1999. Nori asks about the verses between Omarion and Mario, whereas B said he thought it was great. And Drew, like, this guy stopped capping, dude. Like, so Raz B was like, it was entertaining. Okay. 24 minutes in, Nori asks about the breakup of B2 and the K. Now, whereas B say, oh shit, Fizz is explaining the breakup. Whereas B say the four group members had a convo trying to expound on the answer. He trying to respond to a question that was raised or something that Drew or Boog done said. And EFN cut him off. And Fizz is back to explaining the breakup. We 29 minutes into the interview. Raspy agreed that Chris Stokes was management. And things were said because they wanted to renegotiate their contracts. This twice he make it his business to pull Chris Stokes out in this interview. But anyway, yeah, Fizz is still explaining about the B2K breakup. 32 minutes in, Raz B try to say something. Nori and Fizz talk over him. Okay. 36 minutes into the interview, Rasby finally gets to say more than a half of a sentence. But he responded while rolling up. And remember, this is a Drink Champs interview. Like, okay, I'm telling you, he probably got like a good 30 seconds in. Maybe it's there, he got like 30 seconds in, and then it's like, yeah, next, you know. And I'm like, okay. So boom. So he's not saying much at all during this whole entire thing. Fizz and Boog is still carrying this interview. 44 minutes in, Rasby is responding to how he felt about Fizz in April. Fizz and Boog is telling um Rasby before he can even get a word out, don't cap. So while he is explaining, he is like literally straddling his fist so strong. But then all of a sudden he was like, hell, they always like the same girl, so hell. Like, I mean, that's that. 53 minutes in, Raz B is talking to the audience behind him once again. Not rocking with the interview. Fizz and Bugs, they is still carrying the interview, right? An hour and 4 minutes in. Quick time for slime. Raz be on point with his choices. Then he decided on one of them things he was just gonna drink. And it was on the Omarion or Mario, right? He decided to take a drink. But then he get back on point a little bit for his little choices or whatever. An hour and 18 minutes. Things start to change. Fizz telling Michael Jackson story about Raz B not waking him up to meet Mike because it was like at 4 a.m. Raz B then tells a Jay-Z story about how he was freaking out when he was trying to introduce him to Jay-Z. So he was thinking about that story as the reason why he did not wake him up. Raz take a shot for Trey Songz or Tory. Raz B shades are off. Okay? His shades are off. And kind of sort of like a minute and an hour and 30 minutes in, I believe he was just kind of doing shit just so he could take a shot. Right? In my opinion. He was ready to drink. Okay. An hour and 46 minutes in. Bug and Fizz is bigging up Raspy on being the B2K mastermind, right? And how, he had kept B2K alive all this time, all that good stuff. So an hour and 55 minutes in, Fizz is telling a story about when B2K went to Kale's house for his daughter's birthday to sing. And Rasby out of nowhere say, this was when we went to Chicago at the studio, right? Rasby like, nigga, I said when we was at his house. Oh my God, listen. Y'all is not gonna act like y'all did not pay attention to that interview. But anyway, Fizz ended up. He was like, "Man, wake up, bro." Fizz is talking about regrets and what else. 2 hours in, Rasby is agreeing with the what else and a little regret. 2 hours and 7 minutes in, Bug and Drew are talking chaos. Raz B look up and say, "Who y'all talking about?" Feels like you be lost. And Bug just was like, welcome to drink champs, nigga. Like, I don't know where Raz B was at, but he was not in this interview, okay? 2 hours and 11 minutes in. Raz B chime in the interview, but by this time here, they just talk right over him here. They ain't heard him say shit the whole damn interview. Shit, they like he wasn't even talking about. A few minutes later, Bug talking in general, and Raz B say, "Who said that we didn't say that?" So then he tried to keep up, but it was an epic fail. Okay, he tried to get back into the conversation, but it was kind of like too late. Now, Nori gets into Chris Stokes and say he will start with Raz. Raz done said Chris Stokes is his cousin like twice before Nori can even say a word. Like get a question form, anything. He just instantly. Nori set up his question 2 hours and 20 minutes in. Raz Dark Shades is back on his face. And then he fumbles and say, he in a good place. Him and his cousin need to get the opportunity to reconcile family matters. Should be taken care of privately. He don't want to talk about it unless the culture wants to. And Nori like the culture want to, but Nori like this is management though, because the question that he asked it was about Chris Stokes being in management. But that is what Raz B been saying. That's his cousin before anybody even thought about this bit. Like before his name was brought up, I know he wanted to talk about something with Chris Stokes. The reason being because you brought up his name at least 4 times prior to a question being made towards management, which Chris Stokes was. So because of that, Nori like this is management though. And he started to direct all the questions to Drew and Bug when it came. I mean, yeah, to Drew and Bug when it came to management. 2 hours and 27 minutes in, they talking verses. While Fizz is talking, Raz say B2K and Yin Yang twins. But it was completely ignored. Everybody act like they didn't hear that. 2 hours and 31 minutes in, they talking Omarion versus, and while Fizz is talking, Raz B say Michelle need to be fired, and that's Omarion manager, okay? Then he held up his bottle while they still talking on this subject, and he pointing at it. You know what I'm saying? Because let's not forget, it's still Drink Champs. Okay, we still watching Drink Champs, so he is paying homage to Drink Champs by constantly taking shots, pulling up, holding up his drink. He doing what he supposed to be doing. Like he is doing the advertisement of it, but he is completely lost during this interview. Nori bring up the beef and realize the beef is really between Fizz and Omarion, and the other two just caught up in it. Raz is agreeing with Nori and say Fizz got a solo deal first. So the beef ain't just about Fizz taking old girl and Omarion going to snitch. The underlining of the beef is Fizz been signed on a solo deal before B2K. You know what I'm saying? So that was like an underline for from what I'm understanding from Ras B. Because he was agreeing with what Nori was saying about the beef is really between Fizz and Omarion. But he just had to throw that in and say Fizz got a solo deal first. And everybody is confused as to why that is even the reason for the beef. So 2 hours and 40 minutes in, Fizz say Raz was the first to tell him he was the most famous in the group. And Raz say and Omarion and pour up a shot. Fizz continue him and Nori conversation. Raz is holding a whole convo with EFN while they talking. 5 minutes later, Raz say, we all know he was the real lead singer. And no one pays it any attention. And he was talking about Omarion, right? 2 hours and 56 minutes in, Bug and Fizz are talking social media beef with Omarion. Raz say Omarion is very sensitive and explains why Omarion is sensitive. Bug continue and Raz is agreeing about this social media beef that happened after the verses. Fizz and Bug is talking about how Fizz, Bug, and Raz were more than Omarion by the numbers. And Raz say, I never said that, but then he named the album. And it wasn't that you had to say it, it was about they took an album and what they did was is put they just say they put 1,000 copies with Omarion photos, 1,000 copies with Fizz photos, 1,000 copies with Bug photos, and 1,000 copies with Raz photos. And when the numbers came back, Fizz was first in his sellouts, then Bug, then Raz, then Omarion. This is what they was talking about. And because he named that album, further let me know he knew that that was something. But let's keep going into this interview because it all comes out at some point. Because Buddy Nori been saying like, "Oh, you did a lot of talking on social media. You quiet as hell now." So Nori is back to how do they fix it? Talking about the B2K whole entire situation. And Raz like, whoa, whoa. Raz go back to the numbers to agree, then disagree. And then Fizz explain it. Then Raz like, ah shit. It was like that. I ain't even remember. Raz. Ooh, Raz. They did something to my baby, man. Poor Raz. Now, 3 hours, 5 minutes in. Bug is talking about how to fix it, and Raz is mumbling. Bug, like, seriously, Raz busts out and say, it's just that Mario was weird. Bug give him time to talk. Raz say, the comment came out too loud. Fizz busts out like, huh, this is Raz B, ladies and gentlemen. And Raz was like, nah, I was just saying, oh, Marion be weird sometimes. And Nori say, at one time, ah, listen, I don't know how y'all just let this interview just go past like that. I don't understand. But Nori say at one time they were saying you weird. You was weird, Razby. Uh, hey, them glasses off again. Them shades, they had to come off again. And so Raz explained, and then Nori say, one time he was off the grid. Fizz and Bug talk about how he was in China for 7 years. Raz started talking about what people were saying on social media. And he really don't want to talk about it. You know, like, I don't know, it's like I feel like Raz was waiting on specific questions, but at the same time, answering the questions, he looking all around the room as if he looking for reassurance. Like, I don't know who had came with them, but it's as if the conversation in the back from the beginning of the video really was his main focus. So before he answers something, he got to look around the room for reassurance and all that good stuff. Um, where was it? Fizz ended up telling about his 7 years in China, and they bigging him up for all his accomplishments. And Raz is not accepting the compliments. Like, Raz is like, is this a game? Or I'm telling you, Raz is not want none of that. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nori tell Raz he was loud on the internet, but he calm on Drink Champs. Raz say they paid him a lot of money, pour up a drink, and he ended up laughing out loud. Like, and Nori was like, "What you say?" And kept going like he didn't say that. Like, okay, because it made sense. So they paid you to shut the fuck up, which is why you're kissing Chris Stokes' ass and Omarion's ass. They paid you to shut the fuck up. Because if Chris Stokes, I think Chris Stokes' name is still Omarion manager. So at the same time, the same umbrella, oh, they paid you to shut the fuck up before you came on there. Bug continued to big up Raz, and Raz say he ain't shit without him, without Bug. That he wouldn't have no alliance. And Bug like, man, shut up. I talk to you like every day, every other day, all the time. Like, cut it out. 3 hours and 10 minutes in. Then Nori say out of everybody bottle of Douce that Raz has drunk the most. Nori bottle of Ciroc though is about empty. So he like comparing like, So yeah, me and you know, Nori ain't with nobody beating him drinking in his little time. So Grass is like where the after party VIP shit is. Nori is in his phone. Raz throw up his hands, looking around before Nori can even respond, right? So Nori's still looking at his phone and shit, and he like, yeah, I got you, dog, all that good stuff. Yeah, I got you, but let's take this shot real quick. And Fizz come back from he just not walking back in from the bathroom. And Raz telling Fizz as he's sitting down, I've been doing a good job. Huh? You've been doing a good job. Like, how much did they pay you, Raz? Like, you shut the fuck up. You hear me? You shut up for this entire interview. And everybody trying to act like they did not see this interview. I know y'all ain't that popular nowadays, but yeah, dog, I know somebody saw this. Nori talking, trying to get out how he thought B2K would never be again. And Raz get to want to pop off before he can even finish. And so he like, I didn't even finish. Like, I didn't think that I would see a B2K again and Raz like, well, like, what you mean? What you talking about? Because like he was ready to pop off before he could finish. So then Nori is trying to continue to talk to Fizz. And Raz interrupts again. 3 hours and 18 minutes in, Nori gets his question out. Fizz is responding. Raz is mumbling. Fizz in with, he was the first member of B2K. And Raz kept them together for all these years. Raz says, no one ever hears me while Fields is still talking. He's still talking like, yeah, nobody will never hear me. You know what I'm saying? But they've been trying to big you up all night, and you've been throwing wrenches in it all night. Now you remember that you had a voice. Now you know. Oh my God. 3 hours, 21 minutes in. Boog is responding. Raz busts out with, I ain't said shit. Boog like, no, Raz. And then Raz also have them shades back on. His hands up. He looking around the room and say, what the fuck we really talking about? Like, I don't know. I'm telling you this. Nori asked Raz, how can we fix B2K? He say, you have to create another special for that. It's not happening. He take the glasses off, get Omarion to the table, stroke his ego, whatever it takes. That's why I haven't said much tonight. But I thought they paid you. You're gonna have to stick to one story, buddy. Nori trying to move on. Raph like throw me a lifeline. Turned around, facing the audience, and Nori like, can you look at me? Like I'm talking to you. Can hello? He like, yeah, I can always look at you. Yes, yes, most definitely. You know, like whatever was going on in the back, it was like a reassurance of something. I don't know who was in the audience, but they really captured Rasby, whoever was in the audience. Like they kept him like that. And Fizz, um, I don't know, was he the commander in chief that you need to tell him you was good by the time he came from the bathroom? Like, how I've been doing good. Like, what the freak is going on? Nori asks Raz about Chris Stokes. He just looks smiling and Fierce answers. Raz say he learned a lot and there is a way to deal with things. I'm an adult. Raz turn around, address the crowd. Then Drew say a disclaimer for Raz. Every group has an ODB. He the ODB. Raz just holler out random shit, but hey, it works. You know what I'm saying? Raz say at 3 hours and 26 minutes in is that he never had much to say. Nori say on the internet you had everything to say. And Raz is like, I was taught wrong. No one taught him right. What? When you was coming up, nigga, it went on damn internet. What you mean you was taught wrong? You was grown as fuck. when MySpace came out, you was very much close to grown. Most definitely grown by Facebook. Grown by Instagram and Twitter. Like, who the fuck grow? The only people that know how to do on social media is if you was born from 2000 up. Because when you came up, there was all these things. But Buddy talking about, so he wasn't taught that. I don't know how we let him get away with this. He said Raz said that Nori paid for his meal when he was a kid. And then he turned around and talked to the crowd about how Nori looked out for him. And they was like talking to Mike. He was like, this ain't for the Mike. He didn't want nobody else to hear it. Like he was telling them, not telling us, the viewers, but the people that was in the building. Nori is wrapping up comparing B2K to the Jackson 5s and New Edition, and Raz is pouring a shot. Say B2K is not the New Edition. Nori like, you haven't taken no flowers all night. Raz, I mean, Drew and Bug, you know, they agreeing to that bull crap. Raz is pointing at Drink Champ flower, you know, they Drink Champ flower trophy thing, and say, I don't want no dead ass flowers. And everybody like, what? Them not dead flowers, them is forever flowers, nigga. Raz continues. Give me a trophy. Flowers die. Everybody like them. Flowers is forever. They last forever. 10 years and better. Raz started looking around, pointing and counting. Nah. Raz B is counting. So he like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people, Nori. You could turn them cameras off if you want to. And then he was like 5 people. Then he ready to take a shot. I can't make this shit up. And I was saying all the time so that if you wanted to go back to Drink Champs and actually look at it, you can. Like, and go directly to the time. Like, literally, you can go straight to the time stamps. Do you hear me? Just go back to remembering what I said, an hour in, 10 minutes in, an hour and 3 minutes, whatever I said, you can go back to that Pacific time stamp and see the weirdness for the last 3 hours of this entire interview. But yeah, I just had to put that out there because I don't know how we let this slide by and we forgot about that. But you guys sip on that and make it make sense. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.